Okay, today I'm going to be changing some outlets here. That's why the lights are off and I have a light on here. The first one is actually I'm moving. Normally I do stuff in the shop, but decided to upgrade these switches in the room. So shop is coming into the house today. Another, I guess, handyman thing here. And all of this, of course, if you're gonna imitate it or try to do it, is at your own risk. Electricity is dangerous and you have to know what you're doing. So if you do it, it's at your own risk. Other than that, hire a professional. I'm gonna be myself changing 2 regular switches, and the third one here on the left, it's gonna be the one that you can control, the dimmer. But we're switching over to Decora. So the first thing was obviously I shut off the breaker, so there's no power here and 0 chance of getting electrocuted. Now, not only do you shut off the breaker, that takes off the power to here, and I already confirmed it because the lights went off in the room, but there could always be another live wire in there, so you always need to test to make sure that even after you turn off the breaker, there's still no power. Why? Because there could be 2 different lines coming in here from 2 different breakers, and you shut one off. Let's say that I turned off this light, which is this first switch, but the second switch could be on a different breaker and still stay, and there'd be live wires in there. And even if you only have one switch here, which you would think is you could only have power from one breaker, that is not true. Sometimes another line can come through here to go somewhere else, and they for some reason fed it through here. Whoever did another type of job here. So there could be a live wire that's in transit, and you probably think it was in transit. Then how are you gonna get shocked if it's just a wire? Because sometimes that transit actually stops here and hooks up with a wire nut and continues, and the wire nut could have came off. Any number of things could happen, and you could get shocked. So even I'm gonna have to touch this up with paint. You remove a little piece here. So even though you shut off the breaker, you see power is gone, at least to what you thought had it. There could still be live stuff back there, electricity. So you get one of these testers, and you could also check with the voltmeter. That's just for tapping it. And then I stick it back there to make sure, this is the way I do it, that there's no other wire transiting and going through there that could be live before that's from poking it. So if it would have been like beep, 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 no, it would have had meant it was hot. Something was hot back there. So let's take all of these off. And whoever did this, I've never seen this before, and I've changed a bunch of outlets in this house already. But these are not the screws that go here. Matter of fact, you can't tell, but the head is black, which normally they're just, chrome looking or aluminum color looking. So I'm taking them all off first, and then I can pull them out. And something always wants to get stuck. The one that's for the actual main light here, it's the one with the dimmer here, which we're replacing all of them, but that one I'm going to keep it with that little dimmer on the side. So you could set how bright you want the light. So here we go. Let me check to see if I see any other running wires through there. No, this is it. This one got the hot and the neutral coming in. And in this house, they did a bunch of stuff where there was a ceiling fan and 2 switches, one for the fan and one for the light. There was some point that you had to turn on one switch so the other one could get power, so they wired them wrong, and I've already changed them in all the rooms as far as that goes. The only room that I hadn't yet been is this one. that actually has 3 switches. And now I am seeing here that they jumped one over to the other. So here they have what, well, and let me go back. When I said hot and neutral, it's just the colors being used because this is all hot actually. To be clear, on the switches, there's power coming in, and when the switch hits, power goes out. The neutral's already on the fixture. So it's just that they keep on, because the wires come in the colors, you know, like in the Romex, in this case, black and white, they're using it as hot to go back. But there is no neutral here. It's directly on the fixture, to clarify on that. And to be clear, let me bring up the camera here so you can see what's going on. Here you go. So normally, you know, hot is supposed to be black or sometimes red, and neutral is used for white. But remember, this is different because it's not for a receptacle, it's for a switch. So I would have preferred it to come with a black cable here with power from the breaker. But whoever installed this used actually the white to bring the power in. So here, power's coming in, and then it's doing like a little piggyback and powering this switch too. So then when you turn on the switch, power is going to be coming out of through that black one and through that other black one down there and going to the 2 fixtures that this is powering. So in this case, they used again the white to bring the power here, which I would have rather not have done it like that, but obviously I'm not going to change it now. I'm going to the breaker box and change it. But because then I would also have to change the one for the receptacle, for the actual fixture. Just wanted to touch up on that and show what was going on there. All right, let me go ahead and remove first the dimmer one all the way to the left here. Rearrange this camera that I moved. Really nice pliers to use are this Klein that not only they strip regular wires, they have the fat needle nose in the front, but they also strip Romex. There we go. This one's out. And let's get the one with the dimmer here now. And connect it. I went ahead and confirmed, because since here we had white bringing in the hot from the panel, I turned on the breaker and confirmed on this side too. It's the same thing. White is bringing to that third plug, the one that is not sharing or piggybacking. White is the one bringing the power to. So I just wanted to confirm that. And per the instructions here, this one's not only a dimmer, but it's actually a 3-way dimmer, which means you can have switches on 2 sides, you know, to turn on and off the light. It says here to cap off the red with the white line, which is this one right here. It says to cap it off when you're not going to be using it as a 3-way, which I am not here. So it will be capped off. What that does is, that's what's called, you know, that's the one that is communicating with the other switch when you have a 3-way. But in this case, we don't need that. Now, let's go ahead and connect the other 2. straightening it out, because normally the tips of these wires are curved to go around a screw. But on this one, because it's the one with the dimmer, it comes where we're gonna have to wire nut them together. Now the wire nut, just so that you know, it's not meant to put the things, the two wires together. It's just to keep them together. So you're supposed to always first do this, like twist them together mechanically with something, not just depend on that wire nut, because the wire nut comes off, which they do with, you know, the electricity expands and retracts, then the wires will come. Let's go to the next one. Hold on. What sucks about twisting these together is that the wire that it comes with, this switch, is soft, and the wire that's used in the house is hard, so it's a little bit difficult to have them stay together when you twist them. So those wire nuts, you make sure you put them tight, because I've seen where they come loose, like due to electricity, you know, heating up, expanding, and then cooling down, and eventually they could come loose. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in already. So in this case, there's no ground coming here, and this box is not made out of metal, so I'm leaving my ground wire off. The fixture itself is what definitely should be grounded, but this does come with a wire to put it to ground, which obviously you're supposed to, but I don't have one here, so this is the way it's going to be. Later on, I gotta make sure, because sometimes these things sink in and you have to put little spacers behind it, and I might have to, you know, put some here. It's little plastic spacers that they sell. Let's take these two off now. Whoa, that one was loose actually. And this one? Well, this one doesn't matter, because I almost actually pushed things. So on one, they pushed it in, because these switch has to push in, and on the top one, they put it through the screw. It makes no sense. Why would they use two different types of connections here? So this is the push in, and I'm twisting it back and forth to get it out. There's a little pin you can push in the back, but you need a little screwdriver that I don't have here that will actually release it. But because I don't care if it breaks, because I'm throwing this out, I'm not concerned about that little piece inside breaking. I'm not gonna go look for it. So actually it broke right there. And this one, the opposite. They put the bottom one on the screw, and the top one to the push connected, and then coming out to the screw to come to the other one. Oh, this was coming out easier. But didn't want to come off the end of it, so I'm just gonna break it off here. The last little bit didn't want to come off. Got stuck. Now, let's go ahead and open this package. And let's see. This one has push in also. Actually, a little hole there where you can just push it in and it grabs it, or we're gonna put it with the screw, which is the better, more secure, more professional way. It's what I'm gonna use. But I gotta cut back a little bit more of this cover. And it's kind of short. So I was trying to do it with the front part, which is the Romex, just because it's sticking out, the Romex cutter part. But I had to do it with the other one. Now let me turn it so you can go around the screw. And I'm going to put it on the gold one. And here actually it doesn't really matter because it's just going from one spot to the other, which one goes in or out. When you hit the switch, it just connects it. But you're gonna go by the way that technically you're supposed to. Gold is hot. Squish the wire a little bit. Oh, hold on, before I do that, I almost forgot. I gotta piggyback. And actually, the way they did it jumping like that, it's not the correct way, so we're gonna do it the right way here. I'll show you what I mean. Oh, this one wants to get stuck here. And I don't have enough to grab. So instead of putting it through there and piggybacking the way they did it from there, the proper way to do it, from my understanding, it's going to be as follows. You're supposed to get 2 wires. And connect them to that hot coming in, which in this case, again, is the wrong one. It's coming in white. You put 2 to it. And then one will go to, you know, with a wire nut. With a wire nut, you're gonna connect this one to this one here, and then 2 are gonna be coming out. One goes to one switch and one to the other. That's the right way to do it. But actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do it because I'm not even gonna go look for another one right now. Another piece of wire. So I'll just piggyback off of it again, like how it was, just to not go look for a wire right now. Damn it. I mistakenly put it all the way to the back and cut a piece of it, which was not what I was intending to do. Here we go, and bend it. And again, this is just me doing it, not an electrician. So this is just so you can see what I was doing. Anybody that has any questions can leave a comment or any concerns of how I did it, but I think I'm safe. Again, I'm going to connect just to do it the right way, the cable, the wire that's going up to the fixture is going to be connected on the chrome bolt. That's the one that feeds the fixture, the chrome one. The way it should be. Even though I get it here, it doesn't matter because it just connects two things. But that's the way you do it in receptacles. Big receptacles, hot it's going to be on the gold and neutral on your silver or chrome type bolt. But in this case, the dark one, there's a red and a black, it's the one going to my receptacles in this particular case, which is the way I would not have done it again. So let me now do the jumper here. This is so long. To the gold. Hold on. I want to tighten this a little bit more. Because now what happens is as you start putting the screw in, making it tight, it starts to push it out. Nice and tight there. And then this one is going to be in the push to connect that this has there. It was kind of long, so make it shorter. Push it in that hole in the back. Oh, for trying to cheat, this push to connect that these have actually, it's not going to work because it's for number 14 and this is a 12 and it's not going to fit in. So I do have to do the piggyback. Let me go get a piece of wire and come back. I got the piece of wire that I needed. So let me remove the hot wire coming in here to do a little piggyback, but with a actual where it splices into and goes into both of them now. So basically this is gonna hook up this one wire and this other one, this little piece that I have here. Let me show you. This one coming out of here, and then it's gonna hook up to here, and then this one too. So these two to the hot one, and then this one will come to here. So it's basically getting the hot. It's putting two of these, and each one goes to one of the outlets. I mean the switches. Because this is not a solid wire, when I start pressing it there, it started fraying it. So let me twist it really good with the pliers here. So go around the screw and put it. Let me get closer here. And it's gonna come right in here. There it goes. And now these two and this one are gonna be, it's all gonna be put together here. These three. I gotta get in a position here where I can grab them all. The pliers and twist them together again because you don't use. So let's get all these 3 wires here all nice and tight. And then we can put the wire nut. Go right here and put these in. And again, I might end up, hold on, let me check something out here. This ground screw that I'm not using again here. Let me put it in because it was bothering me touching, because the switches, this 3-way, that big one, takes up a lot of space, and it was touching the side of it, the side of the frame. Again, these things now, when I try to put the cover, I might have to get the little spacers because they're kind of sinking in a little bit, which that happens when the opening of the box is bigger than it should be. And then these things kind of sink in. But we'll see if it's bad to the point that I need to go get some spacers and put them on, or it's gonna. The top ones are going to be good. I mean, the 2 right ones here. It's this one, the one that I'm concerned that went in a little bit. But we'll see. This one actually, it's enough. Those little ears there have enough space. They're grabbing enough. Let's go right here. You want to kind of guide it like that because the tension that those solid wires give in the back will have this a little bit sideways, and then when you put the cover on it, it looks a little bit crooked. This is the one here that it's not flat. It's going in a little bit. Let me take it off and see if I could without having to go get that spacer, if I could bend it a little bit. Maybe I could bend this little leg there in. I'm gonna tighten that one up some more. See, the problem is that as I tighten, it's pulling the box out. So when I do one, then it makes the other one loose because the box is pulling forward there. This is what I meant to see if I could bend this little ear back here and it'll grab the box in the back. Instead of the sheetrock here, it'll hook itself to the box. If not, those little plastic spacers go right behind these bolts. Yeah, that worked. Now let's get this covered. See if it's even, because especially that I'm putting the cover that has no bolts on it. What's going to happen is that these become even more frustrating to get everything lined up and straight. Let me open this up. We got to remove the back part. That's why there's no bolts on it, because the bolts go on this back part. So it's a two-piece deal. All right. It looks pretty even. Let me get the little bolts there for the top now. Get in the little bolts here. Just gonna use 6 of them. And they are Philip. Yeah, I was putting this the wrong way. There you go. The reason you know what way it's gonna go is because it's concaved where the screw goes in, so that the head hides flush. That's how come I immediately noticed that I had it the wrong way. Because the screw head ends up being flush with the plastic here. Before I keep on putting these on, let me make sure I don't have to shift the whole thing right or left to cover these gaps. Let's see. Yeah. It covers it all. Okay, because sometimes the gap will be so big and you have to move it one way or the other. So gotta manipulate this so you can find the little hole. I think it has to go up. There it goes. Let me loosen this a little bit so this will give a little bit more and come up. Let's go. They're almost all. You don't want to super tighten this. This is only enough, because now it starts bending the plastic, warping it. Oh, forgot. These opening parts here are gonna go towards the bottom, and then it just clicks into place. And that's how it comes out. Now, let's go turn on the breaker and see if there is a light. Now for the moment of truth. Yep, perfect. You see? Whoa. How the saying says, that let there be light. And that's for the fan. It just